Alright guys, this is what comes stock in the 08 CRFs. Alright, and this is the mid valve we're going to be putting in. So basically, you're going to take the big blue thing, put on there, and then you got to put your stack on. And you have to put your mid-valve spacer in there. And then just take your piston to find out what kind of float you already have, and then just use a 0.25 a shim from the shocks. Make sure that the collar isn't pinching any of the shims. You put it on there and you check your float. Right now we have too much of a float, so we have to adjust for the float. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull these shims off. And we're going to use some of the stock shims, or you can use any of the shims you have laying around. And we're going to make basically a base plate. We'll start out with 4 of them. And you put your stack and everything back on. Put your piston back on. And check the float. And right now we're still a little loose. So pull it back off. Put everything back on. Hold the piston down, check the float, and I always like to use both of them because the shims will bend, and that looks pretty good. So we'll put the rest of the rebound stack, which you use stock, and we'll tighten it down and do one last check on it. Of course, we're going to have me dropping wrenches. And do one last check, make sure everything's good, still good. And we're still good. And that's how you do a 08 CRF mid-valve.